15-minute cities, prison or utopia? The shocking truth. Have you ever wondered if the city of your dreams, that ideal place to live where everything is within walking distance, could actually turn out to be the most sophisticated prison in human history? What if I told you that the trendy and seemingly harmless concept of the 15-minute city is not about your convenience or the environment, but a carefully thought-out plan to establish total control, disguised as progressive urbanism? For decades, as an independent researcher, I have studied closed archives, connected seemingly unrelated events, and spoken with people whom the system tried to silence. Today, I am ready to share with you the shocking truth hidden behind the beautiful facades of future metropolises. You will learn how an idea, supposedly born for the benefit of human beings, is turning into a digital ghetto where your every step is tracked and freedom of movement becomes a privilege rather than an inherent right. Get ready, because after what you hear, you will never look at your city with the same eyes again. This is not a story about the future. It is a story about the present that has already arrived while we were all asleep. Welcome, truth seekers. We live in an amazing time when technology promises us paradise on Earth: smart homes, self-driving cars, and instant access to any information. And here it is, the crown of creation, the smart city, designed so that everything you need is right at your fingertips, just a 15-minute walk or bike ride away. Sounds like a utopia, doesn't it? Shops, schools, parks, work, everything is nearby. No more hours of traffic jams, no more fuss, just harmony and comfort. But what if this beautiful picture is merely a screen hiding something sinister? What if convenience is the new currency we use to pay for our freedom? In today's investigation, we will strip away the glossy packaging from the concept of the 15-minute city and look into its dark core. We will follow the trail of those who promote this idea at a global level and find out their true motives. This is not just another conspiracy theory that can be laughed off. This is an analysis of facts, documents, and trends that form a frightening mosaic. A mosaic with you and your right to a free life at its center. I urge you to cast aside your skepticism and listen until the end, because knowledge is the only weapon we have left. Let us start with the basics to understand how masterfully we are being led into a pre-prepared trap. Officially, the 15-minute city concept is presented as a revolutionary solution to the problems of modern megacities: air pollution, transport collapse, and social alienation. The idea, popularized by Sorbonne professor Carlos Moreno, involves creating polycentric cities consisting of many self-sufficient neighborhoods. In each such neighborhood, residents can satisfy 6 basic social functions: living, working, commerce, healthcare, education, and entertainment. We are told that this will reduce dependence on cars, improve the environment, strengthen local communities, and give us back our most valuable asset: time. But the devil, as always, is in the details. Behind these noble goals lies a mechanism of rigid zoning and control. Imagine a city divided into sectors. Today, you can move freely between them, but what will happen tomorrow? Propagandists of this idea, such as the World Economic Forum, no longer hide the fact that pandemics and climate crises are excellent excuses for accelerating such transformations. We have already seen how, under the flag of fighting a virus, unprecedented restrictions on freedom of movement were introduced. Remember the QR codes, passes, and zones that were off-limits? That was just a rehearsal, a test of how far they could go. The 15-minute city is the next stage, turning temporary restrictions into permanent physical infrastructure. It is the creation of invisible walls that will be much stronger than concrete ones. The implementation of smart city systems with total video surveillance, sensors, and digital identity markers will allow for the tracking of your every movement in real time. Did you go outside your permitted block without a valid reason? An automatic fine. Did you exceed the limit for trips to another area? Your digital pass is blocked. This is not science fiction from a dystopian novel. These are real proposals being discussed in Oxford, where the plan to divide the city into 6 zones has already sparked mass protests. People are not fooled by beautiful words about the environment. They see the true goal: the creation of climate lockdowns and the establishment of total control over the population. Let us ask ourselves, who benefits from this? Who are the puppeteers pulling the strings to promote this gilded cage? The answer lies on the surface if you look at which organizations are behind this concept. These are transnational corporations, tech giants, and globalist structures united under the aegis of the World Economic Forum and similar clubs of interest. Their goal is the Great Reset, which they openly talk about themselves. This is a complete revision of the social contract, where human rights and freedoms give way to total control under the pretext of the common good. The 15-minute city is the perfect tool for this purpose. It creates dependency. When everything you need is within walking distance, a person loses the need and, more importantly, the skill for long-distance travel. Their world shrinks to the size of a small neighborhood, and everything beyond it becomes foreign and unknown. This forms a sedentary psychology, making people more manageable and less prone to protest. Moreover, such a system creates ideal conditions for the introduction of a social credit score. Your behavior inside the digital ghetto will be evaluated: what goods you buy, who you communicate with, and what places you visit. Based on this data, your rating will be formed, which will determine your access to benefits, from getting a loan to permission to leave your block. This is not just a restriction of physical freedom, it is an encroachment on free will. The idea that the invisible hand of the market will regulate everything does not work here. On the contrary, we see direct interference and centralized planning in the worst traditions of the totalitarian regimes of the 20th century, only at a new digital level. Claims that this is just a fight against cars are a blatant lie. It is about controlling people, not machines. We are offered convenience in exchange for our souls, and comfort in exchange for our freedom. And the scariest part is that many are ready to make this deal without understanding its final price. But how can this be, you might ask? Is it possible that no one sees the catch? Why have architects, urbanists, and city authorities around the world picked up this idea with such enthusiasm? The answer is simple and cynical: money and power. For tech corporations, smart cities are a multi-billion-dollar market for their surveillance systems, software, and data collection equipment. For the authorities, it is an unprecedented tool for controlling and managing the population. Imagine how much easier it is to manage people locked in their own little worlds, deprived of the opportunity to self-organize and unite. Any spark of discontent can be localized and suppressed in the bud simply by disconnecting a district from the general network. Divide and conquer. This principle is as old as the world, but today it has gained new technological power. Critics of this concept, who are immediately labeled as conspiracy theorists and marginals, point to the obvious consequences: the intensification of social inequality. After all, elite 15-minute neighborhoods with parks, good schools, and clean air will only be available to the chosen few. The rest will get overcrowded human hives on the outskirts, the same old ghettos only with Wi-Fi and pizza delivery. There will be a final stratification of society into a caste of masters moving freely around the world and a caste of service personnel tied to their neighborhood by a digital leash. This is a new form of serfdom, where instead of land there is a digital ID, and instead of a landlord there is a soulless algorithm. We are told fairy tales about walkability, but they remain silent about the fact that service workers, the very people who will provide comfort in these paradise quarters, will be forced to spend hours commuting from their much less comfortable areas. This is hypocrisy of the highest order. A two-tiered society is being created, where the convenience of some is built on the enslaved position of others. And all this is accompanied by talk of sustainable development and social justice. What should we do? Are we really doomed to become prisoners in the cities of the future? No. There is a way out, and it is in the same place as the entrance. The first and most important thing is awareness. We must stop blindly trusting beautiful slogans and start asking uncomfortable questions. We must demand full transparency from the authorities in all projects related to the urban environment. Do not allow your opinion to be manipulated by substituting the concept of convenience for the concept of control. The second thing is the spread of information. Talk about this with your friends, loved ones, and colleagues. Share this video. The more people who know the truth, the harder it will be for the global elites to implement their anti-human plan. Silence is a sign of consent. Today, we must shout about the looming threat at every corner. The third thing is action. Support activists who are fighting against the implementation of these systems in your cities. Go to public hearings, write petitions, and participate in protests, just as the brave residents of Oxford are doing. Our strength is in unity. They are trying to divide us, to lock us in our digital cells, but our unification is their main fear. Do not let your life be turned into a script from a dystopia. Wake up, start thinking for yourself, study the information, analyze it, and draw your own conclusions. The future of our cities and the future of our freedom is in our hands. Do not give it up voluntarily. This video is for entertainment purposes only and is an overview of popular theories.